So Brian here with Northern Colorado Music and Hyphytek, just talking to some great artists from Fort Collins, seeing what's going on in the unique scene that we have. And what we have today is a Fadey Freakshow. Some great guys from Fort Collins just doing some original, pretty outstanding things that we're pretty excited to see. So right now we're talking to Slim Fadey and Rose West and Woody McHaggis, and we're just kind of seeing what's going on. And so Slim Fadey, like, how'd you guys kind of get together? How did this all start for you?
Last January, not the one that we just had a couple months ago, but a year ago, I was looking for a freak show and I couldn't find a local one. I've been studying freak show acts and wanting to run away with the circus since I was 15. So I decided, why don't I start a freak show? I've been studying some of the old freak show acts for a while now, and one day I was running an event at Hody's called Synthesis Reaction. And Woody McHaggis was actually walking by, and somebody grabbed him and said, "Hey, you do freak show stuff. They're doing freak show stuff inside, so why don't you come meet Slim Fadey?" Went outside and met him, and we've been working together ever since. And then I just brought on Rose West and a couple of other people to help add to the troupe and to be more of a vaudevillian feel. Instead of just a freak show, we do dance routines, entertainment, comedy, as well as freak show stuff. So we're not just a freak show, we're more of like a sideshow / vaudevillian troupe.
Okay. And then with Woody, like, walking by that day, was that just something like someone pulls you in? What did you expect when you walked in there and everything you saw? What did you think?
It was kind of just, I guess, by providence or whatever. I was doing acts downtown and whatnot. Busking and I had the bed of nails with me on the wheels and whatnot. Scooted down the street. Used to have wheels. Yeah, I used to have wheels. But I was just going by, and our friend Sadie was out on the smoking deck and was just like, "Hey, you need to come here. You got to talk to this guy." So I was like, all right. Hung around outside for a little bit, and then just went in. Yeah, then we went and we did a show that night. That was it's pretty fun.
With Rose, I mean, did you just kind of come in out of nowhere? Did he just bring you in? You knew of you already as a dancer or something? Or was it just like you guys kind of had some ties together?
It's actually kind of a funny story. We met through a Craigslist ad. He worked for a band, and they were looking for a female vocalist, and I tried out, and I ended up, shall we say, not being a fit for the band, but I liked Slim, and I liked his flavor and his style, so I kind of like just hovered around the edges, seeing if there's an opportunity I could, be part of his crew. And one day on Facebook, of course, that's where all the great things happen nowadays, Facebook, he had an advertisement looking for ladies, and I was all over that. I was like, yeah, let's do it now, let's do this. And that's how I became part of the freak show.
With you then, I mean, with all the stuff you guys do, I mean, you guys each kind of do your own unique thing. If we could just maybe pass this around after this and kind of tell me how you got into doing your unique thing, like eating albums, sticking the wire through, laying on bed of nails, dancing, and then the blood act I haven't seen yet, so I'm still excited to see this. But yeah, just let me know kind of how you got interested in doing that, and what, like, was it hurtful? Did it hurt you in the first place? Were you like scared of doing that? Those kind of things.
Like I said earlier, I've been studying freak show and sideshow acts for a while now. And yeah, I kind of just got the balls up to actually try to do this stuff. Woody McHaggis actually is helped me try some of these things out. I saw some of the stuff that he was originally doing, and when we were performing at the Denver County Fair, it was for an all-ages show, so I couldn't do some of the stuff I normally do. Okay. So he brought out the bag of broken glass, put it down, and said, "Walk on it." So I had already studied the process and read documentaries and things that people have written about performing these acts, and I just pretty much flat out did it right there. And then from there, figuring out that I could do things like that, I just started breaking things and eating things.
I'll throw this out there real quick with the eating things. Like, was that a process of try this and I'm glad it came out and I'll try again? Or was there kind of, I'd be really worried about that one personally.
I actually didn't. I found in my research that of fakirs and other monks and stuff that actually still perform this. Eating stuff has been performed for thousands of years now. So it's just learning how to make sure what you swallow isn't sharp enough or isn't dangerous enough that the body won't be able to pass it. Actually, the first time I tried eating a record, I had a sharp piece fly down my throat, and that wasn't fun for about 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
So I learned from that to pay attention to how I'm eating things and to make sure you chew. And remember, kids, don't try any of this at home.
Cool. And then so Rose, like, tell us about your act and how you kind of got into doing what you're doing.
Oh, my act. I murder a girl on stage, basically. I got the idea from a troupe back in the Midwest called the Bloody Messy Girls. They were a performance troupe, and basically it was just about being as gory and disgusting as you can be while still maintaining this sexy femininity. And I was like, I love that. I would love a chance to do that. And after I joined the Freakshow troupe, that sort of like happened.
It was like obvious.
Yeah, it actually took me a while to develop the act. The idea was always there, but it just took a few months for me to realize how to put two and two together. I recently added an act, the balloon act. It's kind of an old school thing, been around for years and years and years. I wear a dress made of balloons. You pop them. Everybody has fun.
With that dress made of balloons, I mean, underneath, does it become a strip show at that point?
No, actually, at this point, like, I just debuted it, so it's still kind of evolving. At this point, it's just a dress with safety pins pinned on. We do strip teases. We do not lap dances, but chair dances, I suppose. There is that, burlesque element to it too.
Whole theatricalness of it and all the stuff that the show you're putting on, the entertainment that's coming out of it isn't just about seeing you guys like hurt yourselves. It's about a whole production and everything happening.
An entertainment show is what we're trying to provide.
Right. No, and it's big time too. And like with you, Woody, I mean, yeah, you hurt yourself, but I mean, when's the first time you ever laid on a bed of nails?
First time I laid on a bed of nails actually wasn't that long ago. I basically went through and bought an old book from the 1920s, written, I think it was by an old carnival guy, but it was Bali or something like that. I think it was his last name, Bali. But went through, learned the acts and whatnot, and then just started doing one week, learning that really well, and then doing another one the next week. But I always had an interest in that. Like with growing up. Me and my dad would go and do a lot of the carnivals and stuff like that, running booze and all that, carny stuff. It was a little gradual process, and drinking helps.
Well, jumping, but laying on those and having somebody jump on you and like that evolution of the trick, was that something you read in that book, or was that something you kind of were like, let's add this to it? Like, I can take it, I can do this, I got this, to me, it feels like you must be like a really tough individual to lay on a bed of nails and have somebody jump on you,
Basically, it's just, I think of weird stuff, like what would go good with it. We have one variation on it where there's a sword that hangs over the face, and, they got the bit in the mouth, so if I scream, it falls down and, chops my head. We haven't done that one in a while, after an accident with a guy in a Jägermeister shirt who had obviously been drinking quite a bit, and he almost killed me.
This makes me want to ask you about like your wheel of death and stuff, like having a sword hanging over you or anything like that. It's pretty intense, man. Like, what made you think of that idea?
Yeah, I was just trying to think of wacky stuff like no one did or like has really done. And I had some extra bicycle rims that were chained out in front of my like super awesome apartment complex. Great neighborhood, but lots of bicycle wheels just sitting there, and I was, I bet I could do something with these things. And it's just, I had some machetes lying around, and they used to be for the ladder, a little ladder that I'd walk on, made out of machetes and stuff. And Harbor Freight, great place. But I figured, why not? I guess I'll stick them on a bicycle rim and spin it around over my head.
Right. Let's see what happens.
Why not? My mom's so proud. It's great.
Well, then, how about you, Rose? Like, are you planning on getting into anything where these guys get to hurt you?
I'm not above it. If they have any ideas they want to throw at me, sure. I am queen of taking it for the team.
Right.
I think you're willing to hurt us, though, huh? If we come up with an act where you get to hurt us, I'm sure you're totally down with that. Yes.
Right, that was gonna be my next question. I was like, man, it must be like, yeah, if you see these guys hurting themselves, let me put that nail up your nose or something, let me be a part of that.
Listen here, you pussies. If you like live music HD video and partying all night long, then you should check out Hyphytek.net. They have the best footage, behind the scenes interviews and high resolution photos with some of the best artists in the nation. So go check out Hyphytek.net now.
Are you guys constantly, is it hard to come up with new things? Is it something that's you guys like working together, looking around, like you found that book that kind of got you onto it? Is there like a lot of things? Maybe we'll kind of go around here and see what you talk about, like your evolution of what you kind of have planned here.
Yeah, that's always the intricate part of stuff is doing research, checking out other sideshow troupes and acts, and seeing what people have done in the past. And then what we are trying to do is we're trying to put a new twist on these acts. So instead of just putting a skewer through my cheeks, I'm using a D guitar string. Instead of eating just glass, I've broken laptops on the ground and eaten the components out of it. So it's taking some of these old school acts and making them and bringing in a new style, so it feels more of a modern act and not something done in the 20s or the late 1800s, because technology has changed so much, and there's more association when you break a laptop and you eat it instead of just eating a beer bottle, because everybody plays on a laptop. You know, that they're on it every day, so that's associative for them. So it makes them feel like they're more involved without actually having to be involved with the acts.
Makes a lot of sense. And then, like with Rose, like how about you? Is there anything with your act, like Murder 2 Girls, or are you just thinking of like anything for the future?
Honestly, yeah, it's like building a better mousetrap. Okay, here's the original idea. How can I make it better? How can I do more to make it more extreme, more tailored to me and my audiences and what, the image I want to project and how I want to make them feel. I looked at it started with old burlesque. I love burlesque. I used to take burlesque classes, but it just wasn't edgy enough for me. So I was like, let's add some blood and some knives, and let's make it two girls, one killing each other, like one killing another. And I so open to new ideas and bringing in more people and developing my act and my persona and making it better.
Truthfully, like no matter how anybody could look at that, maybe demonic or whatever, you're killing somebody, but that is so creative and it's so theatrical and it's everything that people are looking for these days to see that kind of stuff, and that's just incredible. So I commend you on that, to just put it out there, because I'm sure a lot of people might, as much as these guys are doing crazy things like that, sounds like something a lot of people might be more like against or something, like maybe have something bad to say to you or something about it.
Well, speaking of that, the last Synthesis reaction, when they were doing the killing scene, we actually had people walk out and ask for their money back because they were so freaked out about it, and they couldn't handle it. So that actually, speaking of that, out of what we do, that actually seems to offend more people. Right? Yeah.
And which is crazy, because you guys are like doing the things that people would be like, oh, I can't watch this, I got to get out of here. Yeah. But that makes sense though. And what about you, Woody? Like, I mean, are you trying to think, and I almost want to bring this question in too, like with both you guys, if you have a new idea, you think of new things for yourself to do, but if you do, like, do you ever be like, hey, you'd be better at this, or you would be better at this, or is it,
We switch off on stuff. We can both basically do most of the stuff that we both do. Right. So it's one of those kind of things. It's people get sick, whatever. But I'll get like weird ideas and stuff, and some of them don't really pan out. Right. Like I got the Wheel of Death idea. It was like 3:00 in the morning or something like that. And got up to use the bathroom, and I was just like, Wheel of Death. Right. But it's always hard looking for new things, because a lot of this stuff is like ground that's already been tilled over. But I mean, the feats are still, they still carry presence to this day. But it can be a little bit weird trying to figure out new stuff to do.
Well, then, I mean, without, like, I don't say without, but I mean, with everything that you guys have going on and stuff, is it tough? Is this something you guys like have to practice? Is this something you guys get together, like most bands, twice a week get together, practice their music? Is this something you guys are, twice a week getting together and be like, hey, let's see how long I can last on the nails? Or
We would like to, but this doesn't make us enough money yet. So we all have jobs, and our schedules actually conflict almost completely. So really, it's a practice by yourself. We get together whenever we can to go over the next events or what we might have planned. We're going to be performing with all music that I produced. So all the acts are going to have our own music, so we're not violating copyright. So it will be a music experience visual set that we're going to be doing.
That's awesome, man. So is it going to be like producing your own music? Is it something you're just putting together like on, like Pro Tools or something? Or is it like you guys play music too, play instruments or anything? Or
I entered the RPM challenge every February. You have a month to make a whole album. I actually based this year's album off of Freakshow, Sideshow, Carnival. So it's called Freak Carnival. Okay. So all the songs have to do with Ferris Wheel Love Song is one of the tracks, Demented Bally, Satanic Ring Toss. So it's all based on carnival atmosphere. So I kind of did that besides just for the challenge, but I also did it so that we have background music and we have stuff that's my own copyright, so I don't have to worry about Marilyn Manson finding out that we used his song or anything like that, even though I'm sure that that's not going to be a big deal because we don't make a lot of money off of doing this. Right. But that was part of my main purpose for making that album, was so that we had background accompaniment while we perform.
That's incredible. That's cool. I mean, it just shows you guys as many talents as more than just, I want to say freaks, which I hate to say that though. Is that something you guys, is that offensive in any way?
I've been calling myself a freak since I was 14 years old, so now I actually get to say I'm a working freak. I actually am a freak. So to me, that's not offensive at all. That's what I like to. I don't like categorizing things or putting people in boxes, but if somebody wants to or feels like they have to categorize me, I'm a freak.
Honestly, saying I work in a freak show feels like the most natural thing I could say. I've always been kind of different, kind of weird, and I've been called a freak a few times in my life. And, well, if the shoe fits, put it on.
Yeah, it's kind of the same deal with me, growing up in the little town, Podunk town in Northern California. A lot of me and my friends and stuff were kind of outcasts and whatnot. So for me, it's just kind of natural. But it's a good thing. Give everyone the finger, I guess, kind of.
It's not really a bad thing, and that's always good. What else did you have to say?
Well, I was just going to say, so speaking of that, no, we consider ourselves freaks, and to us, that's actually a compliment to some extent because we do run a freak show. And if you actually call us a freak, then that means that you think what we are doing is freak show or sideshow worthy.
That's what you're looking for.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, cool. Is there anything that I might not have asked here, or something that you could talk to me about or tell me about that I didn't think of?
We would love to see people out and join us and hopefully see some freaky stuff you've never seen before.
All right. That's awesome. So hopefully we'll get some people out there. We'll get you guys going. We're going to get a sample of it here today. We're going to get that online so everybody gets to see what they're missing out on, because seeing it in person is way different than seeing it online or anything else, because who knows if it's real, right? Yeah. When you get to see it in person, it's blown away. So I'm excited to see this. We'll let you guys do your thing, and we'll get going here. Thank you so much.
Yes, and thank you guys for doing this for us and taking video and interviewing us, and we're completely stoked to be involved with you guys and to have you guys involved with what we do, and hopefully we'll have you guys taking video of us and working with us in the near future as well.
That's what we expect. So man, great times always. Cool. Let's see this.
Right this way, live freaks inside, be amazed in wonderment. Step right this way, live freaks inside, be amazed in wonderment.